Okay, students, today we will study about history of labor legislations in India. We will study about the history of labor law. So, law relating to labor can be traced back to Code of Hammurabi. Okay? And although we cannot say distinctly that it was made as labor law as such, but then there were certain rules and regulation as to how the work is to be done. Then we move on to Mesopotamia, wherein slavery regulations were made in the year of 1972 to 1950 BC. Okay, then we can also see some division of labor in our Hindu Manusmriti, wherein there are four varnas: Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Those who are intelligent fall into the Brahminism, those who are good warriors, they fall into Kshatriya, and those who are merchants, they fall into Vaishyas. And Shudra is belong to those people who do manual work. Okay? Okay. Then formally and in a more organized way, we can see Indian Slavery Act 1843 being made by the Britishers, and it was mainly to govern the slaves, Indian slaves who used to work as bonded laborers. And in those times, slavery meant that you will not be provided with remuneration or any wages of any kind. You will only be provided with food. और स्लेव्स को अगर जीने भी दिया जाए तो भी बड़ी बात होती थी. ठीक है. So the first Indian Slavery Act was passed in 1843. Then, since Britishers were industrially oriented and they had established East India Company in India, so they had passed another law known as Workmen's Breach of Contract Act of 1859, also known as Criminal Punishment for Breach of Contract. So all the laws which were passed in 1800s, they were passed not for the benefit of the slaves or for the workmen or the workers. They were passed so as to punish them. Punish them. Okay? In 1860, Employers Workmen's Act was passed. Then let's introduce labor law. The law relating to labor and employment is also known as industrial law in India. The history of labor legislation in India is interwoven with the history of British colonialism. So when they are saying the history of labor legislation is interwoven with the history of British colonialism, that means British colony only had brought industries in India, and because of them only the first East India Company was established, and thereafter other industries were established such as railways, cotton industries, etc., etc. The industrial or labor legislations enacted by the British were primarily intended to protect the interests of the British employers. Okay, as I've said earlier, these labor laws were not for the benefit of the laborers or for the workers as such, they were for the benefit of the Britishers. They were meant for punishing the workers. Considerations of British political economy were naturally paramount, so the main intention of these labor laws that were built in the British era were that the economy of British should not be harmed. The economy of British should not be harmed. And therefore, they were making laws, rules, and regulations. The thing was, इंडिया में स्लेव्स बहुत ज़्यादा थे, लोग बहुत ज़्यादा थे और उनको एक्सप्लॉयटेशन का स्कोप बहुत ज़्यादा था. तो वो दिन रात काम कर रहे हैं, दिन रात काम कर रहे हैं और प्रोडक्शन इतनी हाई हो रही है कि जब वो प्रोडक्ट ब्रिटिश जाता था इंग्लैंड में, तो ड्यू टू कॉम्पिटिशन इसकी प्राइस इतनी चीप हो जाती थी क्योंकि प्रोडक्शन यहाँ पे ज़्यादा था, तो इंडियन गुड्स अब ब्रिटिश जाने लगे और वहाँ पे सस्ते में बिकने लगे. तो दैट चीपनेस वाज हार्मिंग द इकोनॉमी of all the industries in England. There were other acts as well. There were Factories Act 1881, It stopped child labor below 7 years of age. That means 7 साल से पहले छोटे बच्चों को काम करवाया जाता था before 1881. But at least this act thought in favor of the workmen. At least कुछ तो सोचा उन्होंने. They were given 1 hour break. They were given 4 holidays per month. Factories Act 1891, it prohibited children below 9 years of age. तो अब 7 साल था पहले, अब 9 years of age हो गया था. And obviously number of working hours were reduced. ठीक है, तो productivity कम करने के लिए ये सारे measures introduce किए गए. Factories Act 1922 and Factories Act 1934 was passed, and mind you, the 1922 and 1934 are the period wherein World War One had already occurred. And World War One हुआ क्यों था? Due to economy. ठीक है, तो अब जो इकोनॉमी का सिनारियो था, जो इंडस्ट्रीज का सिनारियो था, जो वर्कमैन का सिनारियो था, जो लेबरर्स का सिनारियो था, वो अब थोड़ा सा चेंज हो गया था आफ्टर वर्ल्ड वॉर वन. ठीक है, ILO was formed, International Labour Organization was formed. It led to the Treaty of Versailles. Where is International Labour Organization? It is there in Switzerland. Okay, so it is kind of an international labor organization which tries to handle all the labor laws of those countries which are member to it. ठीक है, तो since British was also a member of ILO, and so in order to establish factories, it had to comply to the ILO. And as per ILO, working hours had to be fixed to 12. Buckingham Carnatic Mill Strike 1921 was the first case law that had happened with respect to the labor law in India. ये हम बाद में पढ़ेंगे डिटेल में. Labor laws are also called as employment laws. It can be defined as a collection of laws which control the rights and restrictions of working people and the organizations, workplace health and safety, the standard of employment and industrial relations, all are covered under labor laws. So labor laws are not just meant for punishment, unlike earlier times. They are a collection of rights for the workers. They are for the workers' workplace health and safety, workplace health and safety, and they also try to maintain the standard of employment and relations between all the industries. These are the aspects which are covered under labor laws. So this is, I've already told you that India की products इतने cheap हो जाते थे Britishers में that they had to introduce labor laws so as to make India's products a little costlier. So one of the measures that they took, apart from abolition of child labor and reduction of number of hours, is restriction of women in night employment and the introduction of overtime wages for work beyond 8 hours. So as per the Constitution of India, labor laws can be found in articles like Article 14, which is right to equality, like everyone has equal rights to work and everyone has equal right to be paid. The wages cannot differ disproportionate to their amount of time and work that they are doing. Article 16 is that you should not differentiate between laborers or employees on the basis of their caste, creed, sect. Then we have Article 19(1)(c) that everyone has a right to work in any part of India, in any territory of India. Then we have Article 23, 24, which means right against exploitation, right against bonded labor, and child should not be employed in any factory in India. Then we have Article 38, we have Article 41, 43A. The Article 38 and Article 41, 43A are not fundamental rights. They are directive principles of a state policy. Article 38(1) promotes the welfare of people and Article 38(2) minimizes or decreases the inequality of income. Article 43A, which was inserted by the 42nd Amendment, secures the participation of everyone equally. So other labor laws that we have, like a summary of it, is that Minimum Wages Act, which was passed in 1948. It means that you cannot pay a laborer below तो फिक्स्ड मिनिमम वेज, ठीक है। ऐसा नहीं कि आप अपनी मन मर्जी से 50 रुपीज पे कर रहे हो या 100 रुपीज पे कर रहे हो, जितना सरकार ने फिक्स किया है आपको उतना ही पे करना है मिनिमम। The Workmen Compensation Act 1923 covered all the cases of accident recovery of the employees in the course of employment. ठीक है, तो इसका मतलब ये हुआ वर्कमैन कॉम्पनसेशन एक्ट 1923 में पास किया गया था, पर अब इसको एम्प्लॉय कॉम्पनसेशन एक्ट बोलते हैं। तो वर्कमैन कॉम्पनसेशन एक्ट उनके लिए होता है वेर इन द नेचर ऑफ वर्क इज नेचर of work is hazardous or it is being employed in a hazardous factory, and in case of any death his wife or any other dependent will get the benefits। ठीक है, कि अगर किसी की डेथ हो गई तो कॉम्पेंसेशन किसको मिलेगा, आपके डिपेंडेंट्स को। अगर आपके हाथ पैर चले गए देन यू विल बी कॉम्पेंसेटेड फॉर द अमाउंट ऑफ harm that you got during your employment। Other aspects of Employee Compensation Act is कि if and these are the exceptions, that if deliberately you had gone to a place where you were prohibited to go, then you cannot ask for compensation. Then the employee or the employer cannot ask for compensation। ठीक है, okay students, that's all for today। Thank you for joining in।